the main goal for today is to learn how to factor by grouping. Factoring by grouping happens when you have a polynomial with 4 terms, 1, 2, 3, 4, that do not have a GCF. There is no common factor that's common to all 4 terms. The question is, how can I factor a polynomial with 4 terms but no GCS using an area model? This is how you do it. First step, you're going to take the term with the highest degree, that means the highest exponent, and put it in the upper left-hand box. You're going to take the term with the lowest degree. This one has no exponent at all, no variable, no 1, and you put it in the bottom right-hand box. The other 2 terms, in this case the middle terms, go in these middle boxes. It does not matter which box you put it in. So basically, we've just rewritten our polynomial. Next, we're going to factor the greatest common factor of each row and of each column. And that will help us to give our factors. So the greatest common factor of x squared and 3x is x. The greatest common factor of 2x and 6 is 2. The greatest common factor of x squared and 2x is x. The greatest common factor of 3x and 6 is 3. We've just factored this polynomial into 2 binomials, which are x plus 3 and x plus 2. A lot easier than it looks. Here's some more practice. This time we're going to introduce some negative signs, and you need to watch carefully for how we treat the negatives. First, we need to fill in our area model. So I put 6x squared here. Where does the 15 go? The middle terms can go in either box. I'm going to put negative 18x here and negative 5x here. Now we look for the GCF of each row and each column. Here we've got a negative sign. The rule is that you need to have the sign of your greatest common factor match the sign of the nearest box. So in this case, this one's going to be positive. And the greatest common factor is just x. Here, the greatest common factor is 3, but the sign of the nearest box is negative, so we're going to write negative 3. Here, the greatest common factor, be careful, is 6x. You have to do both parts. And the sign matches the nearest box, so it's positive. In this column, the greatest common factor is 5, and we want the sign to match the nearest box, so the greatest common factor becomes negative 5. Therefore, we've just factored this into x minus 3 and 6x minus 5. Watch me do this one. I'm going to go ahead and put 4ab here. I'm going to put 6 down here. 8b, 3a. Greatest common factors are a, 2, 4b, and 3. So we've got 4b plus 3 times a plus 2. Why don't you try this one on your own and then compare it to how I've done it? 6x cubed goes here. 20 goes down here. Let's put negative 15x squared here and negative 8x here. Greatest common factor here, think carefully. It's 3x squared greatest common factor here is negative, so the sign matches the nearest box. 4. Up here we've got 2x, and here we've got negative 5. A good check is to always run back and see if you do your multiplication, do you get what you started with? It's an easy way to check. 3x squared minus 4 times 2x minus 5. This one is a little bit trickier, just because the polynomial is not written in descending order. This is the term with the highest degree, so it goes here. The term with the lowest degree is 7. It goes here. We'll put the 21x here, the 5x here. Greatest common factors, 3. What's the greatest common factor here? I did it wrong. What is the greatest common factor here? Greatest common factor is 7. Greatest common factor here is x. Greatest common factor here is just 1. Let's double check that we've got everything we need. Oh, shoot. You can see that I've made a mistake. And I figured out that I made a mistake because when I went back to multiply, I'm not getting what I'm supposed to right here. So I've made some mistakes. I'm going to go back and start again. I noticed that I made a mistake right here in copying. So my check helped me know that I had made a mistake. 15xy, 21x, 5y, and 7. Greatest common factor here, we've got a 3x. Greatest common factor here, there is none, so we put a 1. Greatest common factor here, 5y. Greatest common factor here, 7. Now we double check. Do I get 15xy? Do I get 21x? Do I get 5y? Do I get 7? Yes. So here's my factors. 3x plus 1 times 5y plus 7. So here are the steps. Arrange the terms in an area model with highest degree in the upper left-hand square and the lowest degree in the bottom right-hand square. Factor the GCF from each row and column. Remember that the sign of the factor should match the sign of the closest square. Good luck!